Have you ever felt life as a swirling current, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, carrying you through a roller coaster of emotions? Have you ever yearned for an oasis of peace within your inner self, a place untouched by any storm? If the answer is yes, let the Stoic philosophy of Epictetus be your guiding lighthouse. In this ever-changing world, Epictetus, a renowned philosopher of ancient Greece, bestowed upon us a precious truth: act as if nothing can bother you. This is not an advice to become emotionless or indifferent to life. It is a gateway to inner freedom, a hidden strength within each of us, enabling us to face any challenge, any hardship, without losing our composure and resilience. Join me as we step into the world of Epictetus, explore the mysteries of Stoic philosophy, and learn how to live as if nothing can bother you. Because this is the key to unlocking your inner power, to becoming the best version of yourself, standing confident and strong on every journey of life. Don't miss the valuable lessons awaiting you at the end of this video, and remember to subscribe to our channel to continue this journey of exploring profound life philosophies, helping you refine yourself and reach true. Imagine if someone tried to commodify your body, subjecting it to their control. You would fiercely resist, wouldn't you? So why do you readily allow them to invade your mind, letting their criticism and negativity disrupt your tranquility? Do we often underestimate the power of the soul, forgetting that a dependent mind is even more terrifying than a captive body? It's time to realize that clarity and inner peace are your most precious assets. Don't let anyone rob you of your mental freedom. Learn to protect your soul, building a fortress against negative external influences. Only then can you truly master your life and find genuine happiness. To achieve such serenity and resilience, let me introduce you to the following Stoic principles, which are valuable tools for training your mind and facing any of life's challenges. Number 1. Don't let the opinions of others control your life. See your life as a unique and distinct journey, like an adventurous walk through a beautiful forest. Along this path, you will encounter people with different opinions and attitudes, like signposts or various turns in that forest. However, what is important is that you stay focused on the present. Just as when you are on a long walk, you must pay attention to each step you take. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This reminds us to find our own path in life and not let ourselves be misled by the thoughts and judgments of others. Epictetus, a great Stoic philosopher, taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So when others offer opinions or judgments about you, remember that your reaction is what truly matters. Don't let those opinions influence your decisions or obscure the path you are on. Consider others' advice, but always remember that only you have the right to decide the direction of your journey. As Seneca said, "No wind is favorable to the man who does not know where he is going." You must choose your own way and not let anyone else make that decision for you. The key lesson here is to follow your heart and values, live true to your nature, and make choices based on your inner wisdom. As Epictetus also said, we should not let our mind be disturbed by things outside of our control. When you accomplish this, you remain the captain of your own life, charting the course that you find appropriate, regardless of what others may say or think. Find your unique path and walk it with confidence and authenticity, not allowing others' opinions to sway your goals. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius put it, you have the power to control your mind, not external events. This is your true power, the right to decide and take responsibility for your own life, no matter what others may think. Number 2, accept the worst. Life, like a river with its twists and turns, is sometimes calm and at other times chaotic. However, it is precisely in these chaotic moments that we truly understand our nature and our ability to control our reactions to what we cannot control. According to Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This means that while we cannot avoid the difficulties and challenges of life, we can choose how we face and respond to them. Instead of being fearful or reacting negatively, accept that bad things may happen and be ready to face them with calmness and determination. Imagine you are facing a difficult situation, such as losing a job, dealing with an illness, or losing a loved one. In these moments, feelings of helplessness and pain can easily take over your mind. However, as Marcus Aurelius taught, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. True suffering comes from how you interpret and respond to the situation, not from the situation itself. Accepting the worst does not mean surrendering to difficulties, but rather preparing yourself mentally to face them without allowing fear or suffering to dominate your life. For example, when preparing for an important exam, instead of fearing the possibility of not achieving the desired result, you can mentally prepare for the worst, such as not getting a high score, and see it as an opportunity to learn, become more resilient, and improve yourself. If you understand that failure is not the end, but merely a part of the growth process, you will not be defeated by the fear of failure. Moreover, accepting the possibility of the worst helps you be better prepared for life. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "Expect the worst, and you will never be surprised." If you accept that anything can happen and that nothing is guaranteed, you will develop a steadfast spirit and remain calm amidst life's uncertainties. For example, if you are an entrepreneur, be prepared for the possibility that your project may fail. This does not mean you desire failure, but that you have mentally prepared and planned to handle difficulties and obstacles. In this way, you are not only ready for any situation, but also maintain your composure and control when facing challenges. And number 3, remember that you cannot please everyone. There will always be people who disagree with you or have negative comments about you. This is not a personal failure or a flaw within you. It is simply part of human nature and life itself. As Epictetus once taught, if you want to be loved, be prepared to be hated. The truth is, trying to please everyone is an impossible task. People are inherently different with their own values, beliefs, and goals. If you attempt to please everyone, you will quickly lose yourself, becoming a pale imitation of the expectations and opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius, in his work Meditations, said, "Do not let your soul be torn apart by what others think or say about you also." He emphasized that you cannot control what others think or feel about you, and that this truly does not matter. What is more important is that you remain honest with yourself, true to your core values and to the principles you believe in. Instead of worrying about negative comments or differing opinions, focus on building a life that aligns with those values. Remember, true freedom lies in knowing who you are, what you want, and living in a way that is not bound by the views of others. For example, if you are someone who values honesty and transparency, you may find yourself in situations where others do not appreciate your straightforwardness. They might think you are too rigid or inflexible, but as Seneca said, what matters is not how long you live, but how well you live. If you change yourself to meet their expectations, You're not only losing yourself, but also betraying the values you truly cherish. Instead of trying to change yourself to please them, remain steadfast in what you believe is right. For only then will you live a truly meaningful life. Trying to please everyone also leads to anxiety and mental imbalance. Epictetus once said, "We cannot control external events. We can only control how we react to them." This applies perfectly to dealing with negative remarks from others. You cannot control how others think or react to you, but you can control how you respond to their opinions. Instead of worrying and being anxious, focus on what you can control: your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Changing yourself to please others is like trying to control the ocean with your bare hands. Life is not a competition to see who can please the most people. Instead, look at those you truly respect and see if they live to please everyone. Often the answer is no. Those who live true to their nature, loyal to their values, will attract like-minded people and are willing to accept the displeasure of those who do not share the same views. Another clear example is the story of Socrates, who chose death rather than abandon his values and beliefs. He did not seek to please the crowd or the Athenian authorities. Instead, he stood firm and lived true to his principles until the end of his life. He did not let negative comments or others' judgments shake his honesty and courage. This is the spirit of Stoicism, not chasing after the approval of others, but remaining steadfast in your path. Ultimately, remember that your life is not meant to serve the expectations of others. It is yours to define, explore, and experience. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not external events." You have the right to decide which values are worth pursuing and to live a life that reflects those values. When you stop trying to please everyone, you will find true freedom and live a meaningful life without regret for not living true to your authentic self. Number 4. Consider failure as a stepping stone to success. See failure as a harsh but sincere teacher. Every stumble, every mistake is not evidence of incompetence, but an opportunity for us to learn, grow, and improve ourselves. Just like a diamond is forged under high pressure, it is the most painful moments that forge the most profound lessons. Do not let fear hinder your progress. Face failure with courage, accepting it as an inevitable part of life. For it is only by overcoming challenges and difficulties that we can cultivate an unyielding will and an indomitable spirit. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up." Turn each failure into a stepping stone that brings you closer to your goals. Do not be afraid. Do not falter. Turn failure into the flame that lights your path forward. Preparing for failure doesn't mean you expect it to happen, but that you are ready to face it when it comes. It is a preparation of the mind, knowledge, and skills so that you can stand firm in the face of all of life's storms. Remember, failure is not the end, but just a new chapter in the story of your life. So number 5, filtering the information you receive. In the modern world, we are constantly exposed to an overwhelming amount of information from all directions: social media, newspapers, television, and even everyday conversations. This is why, according to Stoic philosophy, it is more important than ever to carefully select and filter the information we allow into our minds. As Epictetus said, "We cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them." Be mindful of what you let into your mind, especially from unverified or unreliable sources. Do not allow negative or misleading information to disturb your mind, as it can affect not only your emotions, but also how you perceive yourself, your life, and the world around you. While social media provides many benefits, it is also a place where much misinformation and negativity gather. As Marcus Aurelius advised, keep your mind free from unwholesome and unnecessary things. Negative information, especially when unverified, can severely harm your mental well-being, increasing anxiety, stress, and even leading to depression. This is why you must learn to recognize and discard inaccurate or disturbing information. Remember, you have the power to choose what you allow into your mind, just as you choose the best food to nourish your body. A Stoic will seek out only reliable sources, reputable individuals, or institutions that have been proven to provide accurate and balanced information. Instead of wasting time on content that holds no value, turn to verified sources, scientific studies, books, or writings by true experts. This approach not only helps you acquire accurate information, but also expands your knowledge and fosters your personal development in a more correct and positive way. As Seneca said, "No wind is favorable to the man who does not know where he's going," so be selective about the path of knowledge you choose to take. Be cautious of misinformation spreading on social media. Rumors and exaggerated stories can quickly lead to misunderstandings and provoke negative reactions, sometimes resulting in rash actions. Like when a great wave crashes in, a Stoic knows it is not the wave itself that sinks us, but the unchecked fear and panic within us. Therefore, receive information with discernment and analysis. Ask yourself, where does this information come from? Is it reliable? Is there concrete evidence, or is it just an opinion? You need to equip yourself with the ability to analyze and assess objectively, which helps you avoid misinformation and cultivate a strong critical mind, enhancing your ability to evaluate and make decisions in every aspect of life. As Epictetus advised, do not let your soul be troubled by things outside your control. Finally, do not let negative information take control of your mind and emotions. Accept only what is truly valuable, what contributes to building a meaningful and happy life. Remember that your mind is like a garden, and what you plant in it will either bloom into flowers or grow as weeds. If you plant seeds of good thoughts and useful knowledge, you will reap the fruits of wisdom, peace, and clarity. As Marcus Aurelius emphasized, we become what we think. So choose wisely what you allow yourself to think. So number 6, accepting the impermanence of life. According to Stoic philosophy, everything in the world is in a constant state of flux, from personal emotions, social relationships, to health and life circumstances. These changes can stem from objective factors beyond human control, such as natural disasters, illness, societal shifts, or even unexpected changes in the behavior and attitudes of others. Therefore, instead of resisting these changes, Stoicism advises us to embrace them with a calm mind, accepting that some things are simply beyond our control. We cannot change or prevent the inevitable transformations of life, but we can certainly control how we respond to these changes. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "We cannot control external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This statement clearly reflects one of the core principles of Stoicism. Rather than wasting energy and time trying to control what is uncontrollable, we should focus on mastering our minds and reactions. For example, when faced with a significant loss, such as the passing of a loved one, we can choose to react with grief, anger, and despair, or we can choose to embrace the sadness with acceptance, learn to continue living, and seek meaning from the beautiful memories and lessons that person left behind. Accepting change does not mean being passive or giving up. Rather, it is a profound understanding of the nature of life itself. When we realize that everything is impermanent and change is inevitable, we can alleviate anxiety, fear, and pain when confronting unexpected upheavals. A typical example is in the workplace. If you are working hard for a promotion, but ultimately are not chosen, this might lead to feelings of disappointment and loss of direction. However, if you adopt a Stoic perspective, you will recognize that the outcome is beyond your control. You have done your best, and what is more important is your reaction to the result. Instead of dwelling on the disappointment, you can use this time to develop new skills, improve yourself, or seek out other opportunities that may be better suited for you. Simultaneously, accepting the ever-changing nature of things helps us focus on self-development and building a virtuous life based on internal values rather than clinging to temporary and fleeting things. In life, many people seek satisfaction through material achievements, social status, or admiration from others. However, when these things change or disappear, they often fall into feelings of loss and emptiness. In contrast, a Stoic places importance on living true to one's values and virtues, such as honesty, courage, and compassion. By building a life based on these values, we create a stable foundation that is not swayed by external changes. Another example can be seen in personal finance. You might invest in stocks and experience the ups and downs of the stock market. If you do not accept the volatility and uncertainty of the market, you might easily fall into panic, fear, and make poor decisions. But if you accept that volatility is an inherent part of investing, you will maintain calm and make decisions based on logic and long-term strategy rather than immediate emotional reactions. This not only helps protect your assets, but also helps you maintain a positive mindset, free from the pressures imposed by changes beyond your control. Ultimately, by understanding and accepting the impermanence of life, we learn to live in harmony, understanding, and maturity in all circumstances. Like a river that never stops flowing, life is always moving and changing. The Stoic understands that rather than fighting against this current, we should flow with it, finding ways to remain steadfast and resilient even in the face of adversity. This not only brings us inner peace, but also helps us grow as individuals living a meaningful and fulfilling life. Number 7. Reducing desires for greater peace. Excessive desires often lead to dissatisfaction, anxiety, and suffering, as they make people feel constantly lacking and never content with what they have. Stoics believe that to live happily, we need to learn to control our desires, focus on what we can control, and minimize dependence on external things. A typical example of reducing desires to achieve happiness can be found in our daily lives. Many people constantly wish for a bigger house, a more expensive car, or more material possessions. They work tirelessly, sacrificing time with family, friends, and even their health to pursue what they think will bring them happiness. However, once they achieve these things, they continue to want even more because desires have no end. In contrast, Stoics advise us to focus on inner values such as gratitude, tranquility, and compassion. Instead of endlessly chasing material possessions, they choose to reduce their desires and enjoy simple pleasures like a peaceful morning, a good book, or a meaningful conversation. Through this, they find sustainable happiness in the simple and readily available things, rather than striving for distant and elusive goals. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, once said, "Those who live according to nature are satisfied with little." This is a valuable piece of advice for us in today's era, when modern life constantly pushes us to have more, do more, and become perfect. For example, in the workplace, many people constantly strive for rapid advancement, fame, and wealth, often comparing themselves to more successful individuals. However, this only leads to exhaustion and stress. Stoicism advises that instead of chasing unrealistic expectations, we should focus on doing our work well, with a sense of responsibility and enthusiasm, without being overly concerned with the final outcome or the recognition of others. In this way, we not only find joy in our work, but also free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Furthermore, reducing desires helps us live a freer life. When we are not bound by insatiable cravings, we no longer rely on external circumstances to feel happy. For example, a person who is not obsessed with accumulating wealth will not be overly affected by economic fluctuations or market changes. They can adapt more easily to changes and face difficulties with calmness. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that true freedom is not having everything we want, but not needing to want more than we have. Finally, reducing desires helps us develop gratitude and compassion. When we do not focus too much on what we do not have, we begin to see the value in what we already possess. We become grateful for the small but meaningful things in life, such as love from family, health, and genuine relationships. For example, when we do not place too much importance on expensive gifts or luxurious experiences, we can deeply appreciate the joy of simple moments like a family meal, a walk in the park, or a cheerful conversation with friends. These are the things that truly bring long-lasting happiness and satisfaction. We hope that these Stoic principles will serve as a guide to help you build a strong mindset and a peaceful inner self amid the constant changes of life. Always remember that you have the power to choose how to respond to any situation, and true strength lies in the ability to control your own emotions. Apply these lessons in your daily life to gradually discover and develop the best version of yourself. Keep in mind that this journey is not about reaching a fixed destination, but a continuous process of learning, self-improvement, and growth. Thank you for exploring these ideas with us. If you find these insights valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on more meaningful content in the future. Let's spread positive messages together and build a strong community where we learn, grow, and move towards true happiness. See you in the next video.